Welcome back to Zero to Claude Certified Architect. Today we tackle task 3.5, applying iterative refinement techniques for progressive improvement. In part 17, we covered plan mode versus direct execution, the two fundamentally different ways Claude Code can operate when you give it a task. Plan mode is for complex tasks, architectural decisions, multi-file changes, or when multiple valid approaches exist. Claude explores first, proposes a plan, and waits for your approval before editing anything. Direct execution is for well-scoped tasks, single-file bug fixes, known approaches, and changes you can describe in one sentence. Claude starts working immediately, no planning checkpoint needed. The Explore subagent runs investigation in isolation. Verbose discovery output stays out of the main conversation, preserving your context budget for implementation. And the best practice, combine both modes. Use plan mode to investigate and design, then switch to direct execution for implementing each plan step. If this video helps you prepare for the exam, please give it a like and subscribe. It helps others find the series. Let's start with the core problem that iterative refinement solves. When you give Claude detailed prose instructions, convert dates to ISO format, normalize names to title case, extract the first email, Claude may interpret them inconsistently. Each run gives you slightly different results. The analogy, telling a painter, make it look like autumn, gets you a different painting every time. But showing them 3 photos labeled, this is what I want, and 3 labeled, this is not what I want gets you consistent results. That difference between prose and concrete examples is the heart of iterative refinement. Now let's break down concrete input-output examples in 2 passes so your eye can follow the logic. First, the left panel, the vague prompt. Extract and normalize contact information sounds specific, but Claude still has to guess formatting rules. Should it keep titles like doctor? Should missing values become null or empty strings? Should phone numbers stay local or become international? This is why vague prose creates unstable output. Now the right panel, concrete examples. Input 1 shows full contact data, and output locks the JSON structure and international phone format. Input 2 includes doctor in the source, but output removes the title from the name. Input 3 has no name, and output sets name to null. Those examples define the transformation better than a paragraph of instructions. Next is test-driven iteration, and we'll reveal it in 2 parts so each step lands clearly. Start with the left code block. You write tests first, then run them against Claude's implementation. 2 pass, 1 fails on the European date format. The key move is the failure message, expected 2025-03-17, received 2017-03-25. That specific diff is what Claude can fix. Then follow the right side loop. Write tests, implement, share exact failure, rerun until green. This works because tests remove ambiguity. Instead of saying, it doesn't work, you provide a concrete contract. This input should produce this exact output. The third technique is the interview pattern. Before implementing a solution in an unfamiliar domain, you ask Claude to interview you. You say, implement a caching layer for our API responses. Claude responds by asking 5 questions. What is the cache and validation strategy? Time-based, event-based, or manual? Should cache be per user or shared? What is the acceptable staleness? Do we need cache warming on startup? And on cache failure, do we serve stale data or hit the origin? Without this interview, Claude would guess on all 5 questions and potentially build the wrong thing entirely. The interview surfaces design decisions you must make, and it forces you to make them before any code is written. Use the interview pattern whenever you are implementing in an unfamiliar domain or when the task has multiple valid designs. The fourth technique is choosing the right fix strategy based on whether issues interact. Interacting issues must be fixed together. If a function's type signature changes from string to string or null, and 5 callers depend on that function, fixing only the signature immediately breaks all 5 callers. You address both issues in a single message, update the signature, and add null checks to all 5 callers at the same time. Independent issues can be fixed sequentially. Missing error handling in the auth module and in used imports in the billing module do not interact. Fixing one has no effect on the other. You can tackle them one at a time and review each fix in isolation. The exam rule. Ask yourself whether fixing issue A changes the correct behavior of issue B. If yes, fix them together. If no, fix them sequentially. Now let's apply the same pattern to edge cases. Look at the left block first. Instead of saying handle null values gracefully, we provide exact input-output pairs. Null name becomes empty string. Null age becomes 0. Empty object maps to both defaults. This is the executable specification for edge case behavior. Then read the right insights. Each example defines a precise default rule, and those rules remove ambiguity. The exam takeaway is simple. Pair broken input with expected output every time. Don't describe correctness abstractly. Show it concretely. Let's look at the 5 anti-patterns you need to recognize for the exam. Anti-pattern 1. Only using prose descriptions. They are interpreted inconsistently across runs. The fix. Provide 2 or 3 concrete input-output examples. Anti-pattern 2. Implementing without tests. Without a test suite, you have no way to verify correctness or catch regressions. The fix. Write the test suite first, then iterate using failures. Anti-pattern 3. Fixing interacting issues one at a time. A partial fix breaks other things, creating cascading failures. The fix. Address interacting issues together in one pass. Anti-pattern 4. Skipping the interview pattern in unfamiliar domains. Claude guesses on all design decisions. The fix. Ask Claude to interview you before it writes a single line of code. Anti-pattern 5. Vague error reports. Telling Claude it doesn't work gives it nothing to act on. The fix. Share the specific test failure with the exact expected value and the exact received value. Here are the 5 takeaways you need to know cold for the exam. 1. Concrete input-output examples are more effective than prose. They communicate transformation rules without any ambiguity. 2. Test-driven iteration. Write tests first, run them, share failures with Claude, iterate until all pass. 3. The interview pattern. Have Claude ask clarifying questions before implementing in unfamiliar domains. 4. Interacting issues must be fixed together in one message. Independent issues can be fixed sequentially. 5. Specific test cases with expected output are the most effective way to fix edge case handling. That wraps up task 3.5. You now know how to apply iterative refinement techniques for progressive improvement. We covered why prose instructions produce inconsistent results. Concrete input-output examples as the primary tool for communicating transformations. Test-driven iteration. Write tests, share failures, iterate to green. the interview pattern for surfacing design decisions before implementation. In Part 18, we will look at how to integrate Claude Code into CI/CD pipelines, including the non-interactive -p flag, structured JSON output, and GitHub Actions integration.